All right, folks, welcome to the workshop. To give you a good idea what we're going to be speaking about, like I mentioned in the intro presentation, it is a workshop that is designed to give you an idea of what you should be focusing on and prioritizing getting started in this business. So at DuePoint, we've got tons of different facets at DuePoint, right? There's lots of things that we do at DuePoint all the time, constantly. I don't want you to get distracted by any of those things. I want you to get focused, especially when you're beginning as a wealth engineer, because it's very important for me to make sure that you get profitable as quickly as possible. You need to start making money in this business. If you start making money in this business, then you know how to make money in the business. You just keep repeating that every month and you will build on that recurring income that you make, okay? So, if you have any questions, just put your hand up. You're going to have to ask the question into the microphone so that everyone on the live stream can hear you. All right, so 3 steps to fast wealth creation. Number 1, we've got to understand how do you earn at DuePoint. Right? How do you actually earn? How does DuePoint pay? How do we decide how much we're paying you at the end of every single month? Understanding the phone app, like I said, the phone app is very important to understanding what's happening in your business. And then finally, expectations, so understanding slow versus fast. Everyone has got different expectations. You all know how much money you want to earn. You all wish you were earning a certain amount of money. I'm going to bring you down to reality with regards to what you can expect in this business, because I don't want you to have these massive expectations and then you don't meet them. You need to understand what you need to do to get to where you want to be in this business, right? So it's about managing expectations. All right. So how to earn? Let me stand on this side. So we've got 3 qualifying rules here at DuePoint. So these are 3 questions that we ask when we look at every individual here at DuePoint that defines how much we're going to be paying them at the end of the month. The first question is are you an active wealth engineer? Have you paid for your product that month? Right, so that's the number 1 thing. Make sure that you pay for your product. Otherwise, we just stop there and then. You're not an active wealth engineer unless you've paid for the product that you've taken out. And then the second question is, are you a qualified wealth engineer? What is a qualified wealth engineer? A qualified wealth engineer is someone who has got 3 people on their first point. So in other words, you've introduced 3 people who have paid for their product in the same month. That makes you qualified. That's why when we talk about that 3+2 growth formula. Remember the 5-year plan? I said in the first month you've got to bring 3, and then all the other months I say 2. Why do I say 3 in the first month? So that you can become qualified, right? I want you to start earning money in the first month. So we're right at the beginning of November. You've got the entire month of November to become qualified. So this is what qualified looks like. There's you found 3 people, they've all paid for their product, right? That's why I say it's important to find people that are going to thrive as wealth engineers. If you find 3 people, they all become wealth engineers and none of them pay for their product, their debit order bounces because there's no money in their bank accounts, then you're not qualified. Find people that you know take the business seriously, that have got the money in their accounts, that are going to pay for their product. Because if you don't find people like that, you're wasting your time. So that's the second rule. Are you a qualified wealth engineer? You are earning, in this example, so the moment you become qualified, you are earning 165 Rand, right? Because you're earning 55 Rand for every product in your channel. So that's the minimum that we pay people at DuePoint. You can't have only 2 people and earn 110 Rand. We don't pay for 2 people. We don't pay for 1 person. This is a very important rule to understand, because when you connect people to the business, you have to tell them this qualifying rule. All right? Guys, this is very important. If you don't know this, you're not going to get anywhere in this business. You have to know these qualifying rules. You have to know them so well, and they're simple rules, but you have to know them well enough that you can explain them to somebody. Because the people that join your business, you've got to tell them. You've got to tell them you can't start at 1 or 2 people. You have to start at 3 people. Because if you don't tell them, then what happens? They join the business and they connect 2 people and they think DuePoint's going to pay them 110 Rand at the end of the month, and we don't pay them anything. And then they get angry. Then they think DuePoint's stealing their money. DuePoint is another one of those businesses. They don't deliver on their promises. No, you didn't know what the qualifying rules were. So it's very important to know that we only start paying once you have 3 people in your business. The minimum you can earn is 165 Rand at DuePoint. Okay. Then your channel. So now, well done, you qualified, you're on the board, right? Very important step, because now you've understood that I can earn money in the business. DuePoint does pay people when they say they're going to pay people. Your belief goes up in the business. The moment your belief goes up, you will start to commit more to the business. The more you commit, the more time you invest, and so this should start improving, this whole process. So that's called your first point. There you are, you're a qualified wealth engineer, you're earning 165 Rand, and then you've got a very good person here that started to do some work. You told them, right, you want to earn money, get qualified. And so this person that you've brought into the business goes and finds 3 people that become qualified. This brings us to our third qualifying rule. The third qualifying rule asks the question, how many qualified wealth engineers do you have on your first point? Because that dictates to us how many points we're going to pay you. Right? So the question is, how many qualified wealth engineers do you have on your first point? In this case, you've only got 1. These aren't qualified wealth engineers. They're just normal wealth engineers. They're not earning anything. You've only got 1 qualified wealth engineer. And the question is, we will only pay you on every point for the corresponding number of qualified wealth engineers that you have. So the question is, are you going to earn off these 3 people here? If you look at this diagram, you've got 55 Rand times 3, you're earning 165. Now you've got another 3 people, and remember we told you we pay you 55 Rand on your second point too. So that's another 165 Rand. Are you earning 330 Rand in total? No, you're not. You're only earning 165. We're not paying you for anything on your second point. Why? Because the rule is, to get paid on the second point, you need 2 qualified wealth engineers. To get paid on the third point, you need 3 qualified wealth engineers on your first point. If you've got a business that's 100 points wide, how many qualified wealth engineers do you need on your first point to get paid for your whole channel? 100. And here you only have 1. So what do you need to do to start earning this money? You need to tell your second wealth engineer, get off your bum and start working. Right? You want them to get qualified. That's why they joined, didn't they? They joined. So you say to them, come on. And there we go. They went out, they found another 3 people, they became qualified, and now you've got 2 qualified wealth engineers. For 2 qualified wealth engineers, we pay you on 2 points. And now you start earning on all of the products that you have on your second point. Right? But your channel carries on growing. That's what it's going to do. It's going to carry on growing. Right? Now you've got this product on your third point. Are you earning on your third point? No, you're not. Why not? Because if you want to earn on the third point, you need 3 qualified wealth engineers. How many qualified wealth engineers do you have? Only 2. So we don't pay you on this point. How are you going to earn the money on this point? There's money here, sitting here, 27.50 Rand times 4. You make sure that the third person gets qualified, right? So there you go. Third person's qualified, and now it opens up your third point, and now you're earning all the money on your third point too. So now you're getting paid on all 3 points. This is the best case scenario. You don't want blank points. You want your points to be qualified, right? Like that, so that you're earning on it. And then you will grow on your 4th point. These people, one of them will start growing on the 4th point, but you're not earning on the 4th point. How do you earn on the 4th point? You find a 4th wealth engineer and get them qualified, right? So those are the 3 rules. You pay for your product, you make sure you are qualified, so you have 3 product paying people, right? And then you make sure that you start qualifying the people that you brought into the business. It's just those 3 rules. Nothing else. We don't ask any other questions. That's how simple it is to understand how to earn at DuePoint. How many businesses do you go to where you don't understand what you're getting paid at the end of the month? You just hope, right? It is a very straightforward, we call them our qualifying rules. Go to our YouTube channel. There's a video called How to Qualify. It's a 5-minute video. Watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it until you know how you can explain it to somebody. You have to be able to explain it to these people that you bring into the business so that they understand it, right? Very important aspect to know in our business, because this defines what you get paid. So out of this exercise that we've just done, there are only two things that you have to worry about in our business. There's only two things. We can end all the training right now if you only understand these two things. You don't even have to understand the qualifying rules. And those two things that you have to know is that you have to keep introducing people to DuePoint, right? So you're building your first point. You keep building your first point. If you keep just bringing new people into your first point all the time, and you got to qualify them. So you have to support them. And those are the only two things you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. If you get those two things right, keep introducing people and keep making sure that you support them so that they become qualified, the business will take care of itself. You'll never have to know any other thing in this business, right? And those are the two fundamentals. Grow your first point, support your first point. You don't have to worry about who these people are or what they're doing. You don't have to know those people. You don't have to know those people. You don't have to know anyone. You have to know these people, stay in contact with them, support them. They will help you build your business. All right. Easy to understand. It took our client service team a month to understand this qualifying rules. So you're going to forget it when you leave here. That's when you go to YouTube, go look for how to qualify. It's under our shorts. There's a section called training shorts. Go look there, how to qualify. It's 4 or 5 minutes. Go watch the video. Keep watching it. All right, the DuePoint app. So this is very important. This is our mobile app. This is the app that runs on your phone. If you've got your phone on you with the mobile app on it, open it up now so that you can follow me as I go through the app. All right? Number one, the moment you open your app, it's always going to come up with daily notices. These are the messages from head office, and they are important messages. You'll get a message every day except Sunday, giving you a shortcut link to the live stream happening that day. So on Monday, you'll get the one for the 6:30 presentation. On Wednesday, you'll get two, one for the lunchtime presentation and one for the evening presentation. So you'll get these, what we call daily notices, these intro presentation notices every day, because we do presentations every day except Sunday, right? But you get other notices. We send you notices when you qualify, when you get a qualified wealth engineer. We send you congratulations. We tell you you rank 1 when you get into the XP Rewards program. We send you notices all the time. Make sure you read the notices. You can close the notice. Just click on the X there. It closes it. And to get back to the home page, the home screen of the DuePoint app, just click back. Right, so you click those two things, and there you go. That's what the home page looks like on our mobile app. So you might think, oh, it looks very complicated. There are numbers everywhere, right? So this is why we're going through this, because I'm going to tell you what all these numbers mean. You can click on almost everything on this page. Don't be like Mogogo, too scared to click on anything. You cannot break the app, all right? You cannot break the app. So play with the app. Don't be scared to play with it. Click on things as much as you want. Click, 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 like a kid. You know the children are 4 years old. They click on everything. You think they're going to break the phone. But they learn that phone very well, right? They tell you, Gogo, you don't know how the Wi-Fi works. Your 4-year-old is showing you how to put the Wi-Fi, get free internet, right? Do not be scared to click on the buttons. You can't break it. So let's go through what all these buttons mean. Your name is always in the top left corner. You can click on your name. It'll bring up your profile, all right? Then we've got your earnings, so what your channel value is worth. That comes up in the middle, all right? See the little coins, the little blue coins, that's your channel value. Then we've got your rank in the rewards program. So you want to get to rank 9 to Mauritius, that tells you at rank 6. That little blue bar says that's how much you still have to go to get to rank 7, right? So you always need XP and product size. So you can click on that, you can click on that. The menu, those little 3 lines there, that's a menu that a lot of mobile apps use. It's called the hamburger menu. Can you see it? It looks like a McDonald's burger. See? Bun, patty, bun. We call it a hamburger menu. All right? You can click on that. That'll bring out the whole menu. You can access lots of things in the menu. That is the heading. So this tells you what you're looking at. It says this month. So it's telling you November. This is what November looks like for you. Our business always works month to month, right? Then this is the drop-down menu. So this is saying that you're looking at your whole qualified channel. What's a qualified channel? A qualified channel is how many open points you have. It tells you how many qualified wealth engineers you have. If you don't have any qualified wealth engineers, you don't have a very big qualified channel. If you've got 10 qualified wealth engineers, then you've got a big qualified channel. So you can click on here. See, there's a little arrow there. If you click on here, it shows you all the points in your business. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Then you've got successful debit orders. So in your whole channel, your entire qualified channel, it tells you how many people have paid their product successfully. It tells you how many we still have to debit, right? So if it's not the end of the month, there'll still be lots of pending debits. Then in red, we don't like red. Red is bad. Red is bad. It tells you how many people have not paid for their product. These are failed debit orders. These are people that didn't have money in their bank accounts and the debit order bounced. Bad. It costs you money. It costs us money. All right? And then it says BPQ. BPQ is a ratio, right? So it's a percentage of how many successful debits went off on only your first and second point. So we look at your first and second points and we go, how many of all the people that we debited, what percentage were successful? It is an indicator to you of whether you are building quality or bad quality. If your BPQ drops below 75%, you need to get worried. This is an indicator of your time. If your BPQ is 50%, it means you've wasted 50% of your time finding people at DuePoint. That's what it means. Because 50% of the people that you recruited didn't pay for their product. That's a clear indication that you've got quality issues in who you are prospecting, right? So you can always address that. If you are above 75%, then it's pretty good. Someone like Donnie, who's got a massive channel, he's got over 1,000 people in his channel. On his first and second point, his BPQ sits at about 98, 99%. Whew, he just sits back and the people pay, right? That's because he's built great quality. He's brought in strong people. New wealth engineers. So this is the amount of new wealth engineers. It's got nothing to do with money. This tells you how many people have joined your channel. Doesn't matter. Got no indication of whether they've paid or not. It just means that's the new people that have come into the business. Those are the people that have left your channel. So they've either been kicked out, we call it lapsing, right? When someone fails their debit order twice in a row, we just send them out, right? Because they're not going to pay, right? Or they phone client service and they said, listen, I'm not interested, or I don't have money in my account, please cancel my product. I don't want to be a wealth engineer anymore. So those are cancellations and lapses. Those are the amount of people that have left your entire business. Then right at the bottom, those are tabs. So tabs are like sections to the mobile app. You are currently in channel. This is all channel information this month. Channel at the bottom. You can click on events. Events will bring up all the events DuePoint's doing in future. Right? The live streams, the encounters, training, it all comes up under events. Then we've got rewards. Rewards is our rewards program. How do I get to rank 1? How do I get to rank 9? What do I need? What do I get at rank 5? When do I get that 20,000 Rand check at rank 8? It tells you everything there. It tells you how to earn XP as well under that section. And then we've got Add Wealth Engineer. This button needs to wear out. On your phone, you need to start creating a dent in the screen because you're clicking that button so much. Add Wealth Engineer, Add Wealth Engineer, Add Wealth Engineer, right? When you got somebody new, you click on that button and you let them fill out the app on your phone by clicking on that button. So that allows you to add a wealth engineer onto your first point. And then we've got tools. Tools at the bottom is where all our training sits and our downloads. So if you click on tools, you'll see all the list of training, interviews, testimonies, downloads for certain forms that we have. That all sits under tools. All right. So if you click on qualified channel over here, right? You see it's got an arrow there. It means you can click on it. If you click on qualified channel, it will show you all your points. So this person has got 11 points in their business. They've got a fairly big channel, right? 11 points. That's how wide their channel is. But you can see it's broken down by point. Every point will tell you how much money you're earning on each one of those points, right? So you see it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Sometimes it gets bigger in the middle, right? Because your channel's almost, typically our channels are diamond shapes. They go like this. You've got a few people on your first point, maybe 10, 20, 30 people, then it gets bigger, 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 and then shrinks in again, right? That's a typical shape of the business. You can click on each one of these points. So I don't click on these points here. I'm not interested in what people are doing here. What you have to worry about is these first 2 points here. This is what you have to worry about. Why do you worry about your first and second point? Because having qualified wealth engineers is so important to you. You can have a business that has got 1,000 people in it, but if you don't have one qualified wealth engineer on your first point, you aren't earning anything. You're earning 165 Rand and that's it, right? So you're always worried about your first point. You're always worried about who you're bringing into the business, yourself, and whether they are paying their product and whether they are building or not, right? So you're always going to click on that. There's first point. You click on your first point, it's going to tell you there. Now you're looking at your first point and it tells you what your first point looks like. You've got 20 people that paid successfully. You've got 4 people whose debits are still later in the month. We're still waiting to do those debits. And you've got 1 person that didn't pay. You phone that person and say, what's going on? And they say, oh, I didn't have money in my account. Or, what is DuePoint? Sometimes you get that, right? You want to make sure you know what is going on your first point. You don't want red on your first point. It means you wasted your time connecting that person. You find out, do they not believe in DuePoint? Do they not have money? What's the story? So that next time you can learn about being more discerning in who you bring into the business, right? If you click on your name, so let's go back. You see your name at the top there? You click on your name, it'll bring up a profile like this. It tells you how much you're earning, tells you what size your channel is, how much XP you have, experience points, your BPQ, that's your quality rating. But here, if you click on this blank photo, you can take a selfie. I know we all like to take selfies, right? Yes, you do. Everyone loves a good selfie, right? You get to take a selfie at DuePoint, and when you take a selfie at DuePoint, we give you 1,000 XP. Just like that. That's rank 1, halfway done, right? If you click on tools, so remember tools at the bottom right, click on tools is where all the training is. So there's one of the training shorts. Ask Dr. Benfield, that's Brendan's dad, he's very experienced. He pretty much invented network marketing in South Africa. Started the biggest network marketing business in the country, the IFA. That man over there, he started it. He started Clientele Life. He was the first person to start advertising insurance on television. In the 80s, people didn't advertise insurance on television. They thought that was just not quality, right? Mr. Benfield, pioneer in his field. There's a training short. Go watch the training short. We've got lots of training under tools, so go look at that. Go explore. Go sit where there's free Wi-Fi. Put your earphones in. Tell the kids to keep quiet and watch some training. Pearls of wisdom. All right. If you click on the menu button over there, you'll see that's what the menu looks like. So you can edit your preferences. You can check your account details. And then you've got your products, all the products listed here. So if you don't have the product, you can add the product. If you click on each one of these, it'll show you typically your product documents. If you've got Access Wealth Investment, it'll show you your investment balance. There's lots of information. So go click around. Don't be scared. Go click on those buttons. Take a look at what they look like. If you had a product, so you might have someone, let's say, that lapsed, right? You say to them, just go onto your app, click on menu, and it'll say reinstate product. They don't have to find client service. They just click reinstate. It'll confirm their bank account and their contact details. They're back into DuePoint, right? Make sure they pay their product. So it's as simple as that. That's under the menu button. So make sure that you are familiar with your app. You need to become an expert in the app. I see many wealth engineers that have even been in the business for 2 years. They still don't know what they're doing on the app, right? Make sure that you become an expert on the app. Don't be scared to click around. Click, 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 click. You can't break it. All right. Slow versus fast. So this is expectations. Our business is an emotional business. It is an emotional business. Who's been in the business for longer than a month? 1, 2, right? 3, 4. Oh, suddenly people are putting hands up. Have I been in the business for longer than a month? It feels like 6 years. Yes, I've been in the business. All right. It is an emotional business. It is. Because what you're doing is you've suddenly joined this business that is very much a volunteer business. If ever anyone's tried to run a volunteer organization, you'll know it's like herding cats. To try to get people to do something that they don't have to do, can be painful, right? And so this slide addresses expectations. I want you to know what to expect in this business. Because if I can reveal to you all the negative stuff that you're going to expect, then it's not going to hit you so hard, right? It'll make you more prepared to endure in this business. So let's look at it. So let's say, for example, you filled this room with 100 people, right? You went and spoke to 400 people. You got 100 to come sit down for 1 hour of their lives and watch the DuePoint presentation. So you filled the room. We move these sliding doors to the side. We open up the rest of the auditorium. 100 people, 100 of your guests come and sit down. Now, we have got data. We've got statistics on what happens in this business. So we know if you fill this room with a certain amount of people, so many people will join. That statistic becomes the same the longer you're in the business, right? It's what we call forecasting. In our business, we have forecasting. Every big business has forecasting. Business relies on forecasting. It's very valuable to know and to expect and to predict what's happening next month. We know how much business we're writing next month as a business. I can tell you now what we're going to do in December, right? That's called forecasting. It's very valuable to us. There is always a negative aspect to forecasting. I know how many people will not pay their product in December. More people don't pay their product in December and January than any other month in the year, right? So I know that. I'm expecting it. I'm waiting for it to happen. It's not going to be a surprise to me. I'm not going to cry in December when it happens because I know this is what happens. This is business. There are always negative aspects to business. It's the same for you. When you go out and you fill this wonderful room with 100 people that need money, they need it. They have necessity. You're hoping every single one of them joins, but how many will join after Rob gives a presentation? What percentage out of the 100? 65 say no, 35 say yes. So 35 of the people, 35% of people that you get to sit down in front of a presentation will join the business. That's not a bad ratio, right? But unfortunately, these people that say no to you, they don't just say no thanks. No, thanks for the opportunity. It's been wonderful. Thank you. They say, they say suga to you. They say horrible words to you. They tell you you're part of a scheme. That thing doesn't work. You're wasting my time. Being part of those businesses, right? They say typically negative things to you. The point of me telling you this is that you need to expect the 65% saying no to you. Because if you let this get to you, you will be one of the 65. You will go, oh no, maybe this business doesn't work. I knocked on 100 doors and 65 told me to go away. We had one lady that was up on our Tell All Tuesday testimony, a lady, she stays in Meyerton. She's been a very successful real estate person. And she's used to phoning people every day as part of her business. Now she's adapted things for DuePoint, and she goes through her contact list. She says she's got a contact list of about 2,000 people. She's going to phone 30 people every day for DuePoint, right? And she says the one day she phoned 30 people, every single person told her no. 30 out of 30 said no. Who would carry on after that? How can you be left with the belief in the business when 30 out of 30 say no to you? She was just unlucky. She met the first no 30s at the beginning, but she phoned another 5. She said, I can't end the day like this. She phoned the next 5 and 4 said yes. Wow. Right? Isn't that a lesson? That's a lesson. That's a testimony. Keep pushing. Never give up, right? This is statistical. This will happen to you. It happens to everybody. Right? Don't give up because there's 35 that will say yes. They will. Statistically, always. So you've got 35 that say yes. Isn't that a wonderful feeling when someone says yes? Say, yes, I want to be a wealth engineer. I want to work with you. We're going to be great. I also want to go to Mauritius. I also want a car at rank 11. And you get 35 people that say yes. And what do? We start a WhatsApp group, right? We all like to start a WhatsApp group. Not the old days where we have to phone each other. We start a WhatsApp group, very efficient. 35 people on your WhatsApp group. How many of those 35 in the WhatsApp group are actually going to do something? Oh, I'm telling you, the news is going to get worse. It gets worse, right? Out of the 35, only 5 people will do anything. That's a horrible statistic. right? Horrible. 5 out of the 35. So now you think you've got a big WhatsApp group. You say to everyone, oh, we've got Tell-All Tuesday, or we've got training on Saturday. Who's coming to training? And out of the 35, only 5 say anything. The problem is we never fill the room with 100. So practically, you're not going to have 35 on your WhatsApp group in your first month. You're only going to fill the room up 1. So if you know that out of the 100 that you invite to the room, or the 35 that say yes, you only got 5 that do anything, this is what, about 13%, right? 13 or 16% of the people that join your business do anything. So if you've got 10 people in your group, on your WhatsApp group, how many will reply to you on your WhatsApp group? To say, yes, I'm coming to training, or yes, I found someone today. 1 out of the 10. How is that going to make you feel? Defeated? If you know this is the game, if you know this is statistics, if you know this is the forecasting, this is what to expect, you'll go, there's my one builder. That is my one builder. The other 9, they're the same as everybody else. Don't worry about them, right? And out of the 5, though, out of the 100 that you showed an intro presentation to, you will have 1. So 1% of the people that you expose to this presentation will go rank 9. What does that mean? That means out of every 100 people that you show the presentation to, 1 builder will bring in 1,000 people. How good does that feel? It could be the first person you speak to. It could be the 100th person you speak to. That's the problem, right? So now you're playing a game of numbers. You don't know where the person is. And so the lesson from this is, 1, I have to control my emotions when people say no, when people don't do anything, right? And number 2 is that I have to appreciate that I have to get through the numbers to get to the 1. Because when you find that 1, that person that goes rank 9 will take you with them. They take you with them, like Marsha and Rulof. They didn't go out and find 1,000 people. Donnie went out and found 1,000 people. They weren't lazy. Marsha and Rulof aren't lazy. Remember, because of the qualifying rules, they still had to qualify all those people on their first point. They had to find good people. They had to qualify them so that they could take advantage of the channel that Donnie built below them, which they did. And now they're earning 25,000 Rand a month. So think about this. If you go through this process, you'll be earning in excess of 20,000 Rand a month. You'll be going on a rank 9 holiday with your family every single year. Your question now is, how long is it going to take you to show 100 people the presentation? Do you want to do it 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1? Or do you try go 20, 20, 20, 20? Right? This should inform you what to expect in this business. Do not go into fantasy land and start thinking other things. I've spoken to 10 people. Why am I not earning 2,500 Rand a month? Doesn't work like that, right? This is what you have to expect. So just work the numbers. Everyone can work the numbers. Everybody. Time and numbers. All right. So how much work to earn how much money? So here we've got columns. You see the columns? This is 1 person every 2 months. Half a person. You can't add half a person a month. 1 person every 2 months. 1 person a month. 2 people a month. 3 people a month. 4 people a month. 5 people a month. This is how much you can earn, right? How long is it going to take to get to 2,500 Rand if I'm adding 2 people a month? How long will it take to get to 100,000 Rand a month if I'm putting in 1 person a month versus putting in 5 people a month? So this table tells you expectations. If you are connecting 2 people a month, I wouldn't look at this. If this is your goal, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Not that it's not possible, but you will give up before you get to anything here. If you build this slowly, you will give up. You'll get too frustrated to carry on. So I can say to you, if you add 1 person every 2 months, it'll take you 20 years to get to 100,000 Rand. You will have given up before year 2, my friend. I'm telling you that right now. So don't do that. Start here, 2 people a month. It'll take you 6 months to get to 2,500 Rand. Right? It'll take you a year to get to about 10,000 Rand. 2 years to get to 30,000 Rand. By this stage here, by year 5, you'll be ranked 9. But you decide how quickly you want to build. So let's say, okay, I'll do one person a week. Let me make that my goal, to connect one person a week, 4 people a month. It'll take me 3 months to get to 2,500 Rand, 6 months to get to 10,000 Rand, 1 year to get to 30,000 Rand. Decide what you want to do. Take a photo if you want to. This is on YouTube. You can go watch it afterwards. Take a photo. Do not fool yourselves. Wealth engineers fool themselves, because I deal with wealth engineers, hundreds, thousands of them all the time, and they come to me to complain about the system, and then I look at their first point and I say, how many people did you connect last month? None. So what's the question? I don't understand the question. That's what I'll say to them. You don't understand why you're not working the business, or why the business is not paying you, but you didn't connect anyone last month. If you do more than 2 people a month, I promise you, you'll be earning good money in this business before you know it. Right? So make sure that you understand this process, because this will manage your expectation. If you have any problem in the business, look at how many people you connected last month and the month before that and the month before that. If it's under 2, stop looking. The problem is with you. Right? We're not trying to polish anything here. We're talking straight. You can ask me any questions. Ask me anything. Right? If you have any question about anything, now is the time to ask me. Time and numbers. All right, what to do? So, all you have to worry about is connecting people to DuePoint. You don't have to worry about anything else. You connect them, you support them. Connect and support. Connect and support. Right? Never talk product. So remember that. You never talk product. People will ask you, tell me about the products. You say, I'm not licensed. We're talking about financial services. Yeah, I'm not licensed to talk about product. What I can tell you is that the business has been around for 70 years. They're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. They are audited. They are regulated. Right? We're not talking about some business. We're talking about a serious business. But come watch the presentation. I'm only asking you for 45 minutes of your life. Come look. There is no pressure. You can say yes or no afterwards. It doesn't matter to me. I just want you to watch the presentation. But just tell me about the products. You say they're financial products. That's all I'm telling you. Come look at the presentation. There is more value, you can tell them. There is more value in the business than there is in the products. Think about that. Some of you might not have realized that either. Think about the products. Let's say you take out Access Wealth, right? Let's say you're a high roller and you say, no, I want to put in 2,500 Rand into Access Wealth every month. Right? So now you're putting in 30,000 Rand into that investment every month. Let's say our investment does really well, does 10%. So on 30,000 Rand after 1 year, it'll be less than this, but to make it easy, let's say you get 10% on that 30,000 Rand. That Access Wealth product's done really well. 10%! That's double inflation. That means at the end of the year, that Access Wealth product has made you 3,000 Rand. 3,000 Rand in an entire year. Now tell me, how much money can you make in the business in 1 year if you commit to it? 10 times that. 10 times that, right? And so when you go out and tell people, say, don't worry about the product. The guy in the presentation will tell you about the product. You connect them to the business presentation. The business presentation, always. When they ask about product, you deflect. Deflect. He will tell you about the product in the presentation. Always talk wealth. You can tell them that this is a business that creates annuity income. They don't pay people for activity. They pay people for the asset that they help build at DuePoint. And I'll say, what the hell does that mean? It means that when you get sick, the business keeps paying you. When you don't do anything for a whole year, the business will carry on paying you. We had one of the ladies up last month, Stendra. Go look at her on YouTube. She worked in the business for 4 months and then disappeared. For a whole year, gone. We paid her every single month. She still earned money while she was gone for an entire year. Look, 4 months is never long enough to build any sustainable asset. But the point is that wealth-based activity is different to just trying to earn commission, sales-based activity. All right? Use the tools. So that's the support. Make sure you know the app. You know how to connect to the stream. You know how to use YouTube. You might not know how to do these things today, but very quickly you can become experts in these things, right? Get started now. Don't wait. There's 1,000 hours left in this year. Think about that. 1,000 hours. Maybe a bit more, 1,200 hours. 1,200 hours left of 2018. There is so much opportunity. Never use the excuse, I don't have time. That is you making an excuse for you not doing anything. There is plenty time of the day. Our employers only take up 8 hours of 24. Right? Plug into DuePoint, that's just the support again. Become an expert at the app. Watch all the training. Watch the training, watch the training, watch the training. Right? Our wealth engineers will even come to the same training and say, I learned something new today. Right? You will read into things. Have you ever watched a movie twice? You go, I don't remember this part in the movie last time. Your brain connects to different things because your narrative is different every time, right? So things make more sense to you the number of times you watch it, right? So watch the training. You can watch it over and over again. Marry DuePoint's calendar into your own, so just be aware of our events, right? We use our events to try help you build your channels more effectively. And that's it. Simple as that. Connect people, support them so they become qualified. Simple as that. Now you're going to ask me questions. Ooh, I'm getting old. Come, questions. No one's an expert in this business. You should all have questions. What's your question?
Wow. You just catch me.
I'm going to ask all of you.
You know, what you were saying to say, this thing, is it working?
Yeah, put it close by.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay. What you were saying about the product, because normally people ask you, okay, tell us about your product.
Yeah, they'll always ask you that.
If you just said, okay, fine, they will explain to you. Said, no, but I can't, go to the presentation if you don't at least give me a hint.
No, you can tell them it's financial products, so it's investment and insurance products. But again, make sure that they understand that the value in what you're offering them, because you're offering them to come watch the presentation, so the value is in the money that you can make in this business.
Okay.
Right? With the products. The products are valuable in themselves because it allows you to create investments and that type of thing. So when they ask the question, you can always talk around the benefit of financial products, but you can't tell them about our products. You can't say, okay, there's Access Wealth and there's this and there's this and there's this, and explain to them the benefits and tell them why it's such a good product. Don't go there.
Okay.
Tell them about the business opportunity, right? Don't be worried. Remember, you are going to get the no's. Don't waste your time trying to convince somebody something. Just go find the next person. The next person will go, oh, that sounds good. Then you wonder why you spent 3 days trying to convince that other person that just wants to say no because they like to say no. It makes them sound more important. Right?
Okay, the last question.
Yes.
Let's say I reach to the point where I get my 2.5, and then one day the one person decided to cancel. So what's going to happen to that 2.5? I have to add more in order to...
Yeah. So when you start out in this business, so this is a very frustrating thing at the beginning of your business, because if you're in your first few months, right, your business is quite fragile because you've got, let's say you've got people up to your third point. So you've got product on your first point, your second point, your third point, and you've only got 3 qualified wealth engineers. And your third qualified wealth engineer's only got 3 people. So if one of those people on the second point stops paying, you lose the whole qualified wealth engineer. Now you're only earning on point 1 and 2. Right? So your income can reduce by, let's say, 20 or 30% because of that. That's the risk at the beginning. Right? That's why so many people quit, because they don't understand how the business works. They don't understand the qualifying rules, and they just think, oh, my income's jumping around, right? Instead of understanding how to address the problem. How do you address the problem? You make sure you get more qualified wealth engineers. The more qualified wealth engineers you have, the more you mitigate that risk. Because when your business starts getting bigger with time, so let's say after 2 years you're in the business, you're like Marsha and Rulof, you've got 17 points in your business. If they lose one qualified wealth engineer, they're only losing, out of 25,000 Rand, they're losing maybe 300 Rand. They've mitigated the risk, right? So at the beginning, you are at more risk. Understand the qualifying rules, understand how to address your channel when problems like that arise. That's why understanding how the mobile app works is so important. Because if you don't know what you're looking at, you're just going to go, oh, my income's just all over the place. I don't know why. I don't know how to address it. You feel disempowered. And when you feel disempowered, you feel like you don't have control. This business is about control. Fix it. Learn how to fix it. Learn to know what's happening in your channel. Speak close.
I'm Nobleman. I don't want to ask, but I just want to come up maybe with the solution. Like, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is it going to work or how?
Yeah.
In order for you to keep on the position, I think you need to add that tool that you were talking about for your first point, because you never know, maybe one of your first point will drop up. So I think that's the reason why you have to add.
No, the best position to be in is to be growing your first point faster than your channel's growing. You understand? So if your channel's 3 points, you want 4 or 5 qualified wealth engineers. When your channel gets to 5 points, you want 6 or 7 qualified wealth engineers. That's why I say you only have to worry about your first point. If you just stay focused on building and qualifying people, you will have no problems in this business. All right. You're in control. That's what you have to remember. You're in control of this business. You have to know how it works, though. You're looking so shy. So shy. No questions.
I just want,
Close.
I just want to know if I do recruit the people that are at Limpopo,
Yeah.
and then who gonna do the representation there?
Okay. So that's always a question. Always a question. If I'm not near head office, how can my people watch the presentation? Right? So we've got YouTube, we've got the live stream. This live stream is being watched all over the country at the moment. That means you need Wi-Fi or data to watch it, right? If you don't have Wi-Fi or data, you can buy a memory stick at head office. We'll send it anywhere to the country. You buy a memory stick. On the memory stick, we've got an intro presentation. The intro presentations, they're all the same. You buy the one on the memory stick. You go with your laptop or a TV in Limpopo, they've got the memory stick, they plug it in, they don't have to use data, the presentation plays, it's the same presentation. Understand? All right.
I wanted to ask about that scenario you mentioned of Sandra who went MIA for 4 months. Was
1 year.
1 year?
She worked for 4 months, she disappeared for a year.
And was still paid?
She took a holiday.
Was still paid?
She was still paid.
How was she paid? Is it because that she was paying the monthly or?
Yeah, so she was active, right? So she answered all the qualifying rules. So she built a business. She had a huge channel. She got up to, within 4 months, she was like Linda. She got up to like 4,000 or 5,000 rand a month, right? And then if you go watch her testimony, this is what she says. She said, I saw another business opportunity. I saw other people. I thought, no, they seem to be earning more. It seems to be easier over there. And then she disappeared. She carried on paying for a product here because it would be stupid to stop paying because she's getting paid so much. And she went and joined another business and it didn't work out. So we didn't see her for a year, right? But we pay you for your channel, not for your time. Her channel didn't disappear. Everyone was still working. There were other wealth engineers she had connected to the business that were still qualified. They were still connecting other people, and her business was still there. And so we paid her every single month dependent on what her channel looked like, right? That channel started to shrink over time because she wasn't there to push it. She wasn't building her first point. She was losing qualified wealth engineers. They never heard from her. Right? So your business will start to shrink over time, especially if you've only put 4 months into it. Someone like Dani or Marsha and Rulof who have got massive channels, that it won't be as dramatic for them. If they stop doing the business entirely, their channel's so big that it wouldn't shrink like that, right? But even 2.5 years is not a long time to invest in a business. I think you need to put 5, 10 years into a business where you can, after 10 years, walk away from it and it's just moving on its own. Because after 10 years, you will have ranked 9s on your first point, pushing the business. That's an important point. Does that make you understand the value of this business? Because we pay you for the asset. We're not paying you for activity. You can build this business for a year and disappear for a year and you're still getting paid every month. Try that at your day job. Tell your boss you're going for a 1-year holiday. See what he says. He'll print out your resignation letter while you're waiting. Right? That's the problem with activity-based income. Any other questions, guys? Everyone's looking down. They don't want me to bring Yuma.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Paul. Okay, I'm speaking of
Closer.
experience.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been in the business for 3 months. Okay, your obligation at DuePoint, your duty at DuePoint, is just to connect. Okay, no excuses, just connect. That's your obligation at DuePoint. And if you guys do that, you guys will be successful.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Like Lindo says, I loved Lindo's testimony this month. The guy from KZN. He's earning nearly 5,000 Rand a month already. Right at the end, he says, connect, no excuses. If it's what you want, you can make the decision tomorrow. This is not what I want, and leave. Questions? Everyone's happy, everyone's going to build, everyone's going to be richer in December. Good luck, guys. Thank you.